We're gonna explore London, we're going to Paris, and then I'm taking them on a week trip in Italy. So I'm currently getting ready because my parents are coming into town. It's very exciting. My parents have actually never been to Europe before because when we were younger, my family didn't have a lot of money. We went on like little vacations in the US, but like going to Europe is really expensive. So now that I can fend for myself, I've made a couple dollars from YouTube, I was like, I really want to fly my parents out to Europe so that we can explore together and I can like show them what I've been up to here. We're gonna explore London, we're going to Paris, and then I'm taking them on a week trip in Italy, which is very exciting. Hopefully they will like it. It's actually also my mom's 60th birthday tomorrow, so it's also like a birthday gift. She says she's excited. We're taking her to high tea tomorrow. My sister's also coming into town. So all exciting things, but I'm gonna be a tourist in London for the next couple of days. And I feel like I've done all the touristy things already. So I feel like I can be kind of a good guide. The funny thing is the reason why I know so much about these like specific spots that I'm gonna take them to like along the river is because when I was in London last time, I went on like so many dates. I would pitch an idea of like, oh, like give me a walking tour of your city and I'll like buy you a drink. This is so funny. They all took me to the same exact walking tour along the river, like Tower Bridge, and then just like walk around along the river. And they all took me to the exact same pub. And every time I had to like act like I had never been there before and be like, oh, like what's that church? Oh, like what this pub? Like, oh, that's so cool. Like the acting skills really came out. But anyway, I constantly feel like when I go and explore the world and then like find myself or whatever, I'm like, oh, but I should be home like hanging out with my parents because they're also getting older, which is so sad and I don't want to think about it. But then I was like, they're also living life for the first time. There's also things that they haven't done. So I'm like, wait, why don't we just do this all together? So I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I feel like a lot of maybe like Asian kids or like immigrant parent kids can probably relate. Like the relationship dynamic between me and my siblings and my parents are like so different now than even just a couple years ago. Like we're a lot more chill with each other. We can talk about things and like it took a lot of work, but now we're all like very close and it's amazing. I just wanted to like give back to them for like all the sacrifices they made for us and all that they've given us. Okay, this is one thing. Now that I'm older, I like totally understand a lot of the sacrifices that they made for us and all of the choices that they made, like why they did them. Because when you're a teenager or when you're a kid, you're like, my parents are the worst, like they're making me practice piano, blah, 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 blah. I just want to play with Legos. But now I'm like, you know what, you were smart, you were mega minding there. Like I was just being a stupid child and I'm really glad they made some of the decisions that they made. Hello guys, my parents are in town. Hello. They just got off the flight a couple of hours ago, showed them the rooftop, and we are now going to Asda to grocery shop for the first time because they were like, oh, we know that you're not eating proper food, so they're gonna cook dinner tonight and feed me properly. We're gonna go explore Asda together. I haven't really gone yet. I haven't really grocery shopped yet, so we're all gonna be doing this for the first time together. I'm gonna see what kind of British brands are available, what the grocery is like here, if the food is like better quality, worse quality than Canada. We'll see. I'm excited. Bye, you ready?
Yes.
Also, the second that they touched down, it like started being sunny when it was literally hailing like yesterday. I think they brought the good Vancouver vibes here because it's like really sunny in Vancouver right now. You know, I always thought that Vancouver weather was bad, but once I've come to London, I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have been complaining. They're both bad, but it's different. It's just different. If you've been to both, you know.
We're at Asda. They're saying that the meat quality is good here. Coming from a girl who has no cooking skills, I'm like, I have no idea if this is good stuff. I don't know if it's like good price. They're looking at the prices, they're like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I was like, oh, I thought everything here was really expensive. Potatoes. It's like for soup, so like you just add water into it. We don't have stuff like that. We have more frozen meals, but they don't really have like frozen meals here. It's like meal kits. Everything's like refrigerated. The wild thing to me is that you guys don't refrigerate your eggs here. They're just like out in the open. Up in the kitchen.
天不见，手一到又暂停。
The next day was my mom's 60th birthday, so we had lots planned to celebrate her big day. The first stop was high tea. This was actually my first time having high tea in London, despite having lived here for a long time. My mom loves high tea and getting dressed up for nice meals, but she doesn't ever really like to spend money on herself, so my sister and I always try to take her out when we can because she deserves it.
We're in Russell Sport Park. This is really cute and really nice. This is like if Washington Square Park in New York was clean and free from crazy people.
Next, we headed to the Sky Garden, which is my favorite free view of London. You can see all of the structures all throughout the city, and the clouds usually are a very hated part of my London experience, but they're so beautiful from up here. We got dinner at the rooftop restaurant, and it almost felt like my birthday because I got to witness my mom wine tipsy for the first time in my entire life. Back at home, we had a birthday cake waiting for her, and it made me so happy to see how happy she was because even though she's my mom, it reminded me that there's still a little girl in there who finds so much joy in blowing out birthday candles. Day 3 in London brought us to Borough Market, where there were lots of tentacles, yummy paella, and sunshine. Paella and champagne for Dad. Champagne lunch. Huh, nice what? Nice. And then chocolate strawberries.
Totally different.
Very different vibes. If we jumped into the river, we would get immunized for life. And there's Shakespeare's Globe. Oh. This is Shakespeare's Globe. I have been taken on this exact walking tour 3 separate times by 3 different bubble guys, so I'm an expert now. Shakespeare, shake, shake, shake. It's like modern art. On day 4, we took the Eurostar train to Paris. This was such a better experience than flying. We got to see the beautiful country views, had space to kick our little feet around, and soon enough, we were approaching Paris. After putting down our stuff in the Airbnb, we headed to lunch at Café Le Fiston, and I finally reunited with my favorite cheese of all time. My favorite cheese in the world. I'm usually so super lactose intolerant in North America, so whenever I'm in Europe, I'm eating as much cheese as possible because for some reason, it doesn't do anything to me. And I'm free.
Oh god. Oh god. I'll die.
Then we climbed up to Sacré-Cœur for the most beautiful view of Paris. And then, of course, I had to force myself into some more exposure therapy by singing with the busker and facing my fears. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I win. So nervous, but so fun. Exposure therapy, do something that you're scared of today. Then my sister and I went out on the town, and here's a little snippet of how the night went. Got our pastries and stuff for our picnic, but we're on our way to breakfast right now at 4 p.m. We're running on Paris time. We held tight to our baguettes in the gusty wind and headed over to the Eiffel Tower for a chili charcuterie brunch. Good thing the food was yummy because I couldn't feel a thing in my fingers by the end of it. To end the day, we embarked on a beautiful sunset boat ride down the Seine. You can take the girl out of Canada, but you can't take Canada out of the girl. We started off day 6 in Paris by watching the NHL playoffs over breakfast, then headed out to explore more of Paris. I think I ate some. Oh, more coming, more coming! Whoa, it's windy. Emily in Paris vibe. We're currently on Champs-Elysees. so dead. We've walked from the Louvre and we're at Arc de Triomphe right now. Wanna go into Cartier and pretend that we can afford things. Easy. Victim of a crime. My sister celebrated her last day in Paris by getting her wallet pickpocketed on the train. That's definitely one way to leave the trip on a memorable note. On day 7, we landed in Venice, Italy, and explored the beautiful alleyways and canals and buildings and ate amazing Italian food. And of course, paired it with some Aperol Spritz. Reunited at last! The next day, we had a quick breakfast in Venice before taking the train off to our next destination, Florence! Last time I came to Italy with my friends, we decided to rent a car and drive through Italy. Biggest mistake, maybe top 5 mistakes of my life. And you can probably tell how that experience went by the sheer fact that we are taking a train this time. It was so nice, we got to see the views, relax, it was amazing. Highly recommend. We're currently in Florence, going up to a viewpoint. We ran up the steps because sunset was happening in 5 minutes, and when we finally reached the top, it was absolutely jam-packed with people, but the view was incredible. After wading through more crowds of people, we got to the tippy top where there was a replica of the statue David. The next day, we trekked through the rain by train to Rome. We're in Rome. It's so warm here, finally. It's so crazy how much better I feel when there's sun. It was like raining today and it was like, you would think that for the 25 years I've lived in Vancouver that I would have become adjusted to that, but girl, maybe I do need to move back to California. Oh, not me moving to London and then being like, wait, I need to move again. Let me show. Anyway, we're gonna go explore London, not London. We're gonna explore where are we? I'm so tired. Rome. Sorry, I haven't been updating that much. We've just been so tired and like running around the cities. We just came from Florence. We are so tired from Florence, but we bought a bunch of stuff, went to a bunch of museums, had the best steak of our lives. The next couple days we spent roaming in Rome, posing with Charles Leclerc cardboard cutouts, admiring Trevi Fountain with thousands of other tourists, climbing the Spanish Steps during sunset, waking up early to see the statue of David in the Academia Gallery, wondering what Ed Sheeran was doing in this old painting, exploring the Colosseum, and finally understanding men's obsession with Roman Empire. Rome is so full of beautiful artwork, culture, food, weather, and people. I loved being able to explore Europe with my parents, especially as an adult. I feel like my relationship with my parents has changed and grown so much throughout the past couple of years, and we've been able to get so much closer now that we've all had some space apart. Seeing them have so much fun on this trip reminded me that my parents are also just regular people too who are experiencing life for the first time. On the last night of our trip, my parents got tired, so I tucked them into bed and went scooting alone through Rome. I listened to music, I people watched, witnessed a proposal at Trevi Fountain, and I appreciated all the great things that I have in my life. Until next time, love,